This is the new May. We're talking about severe storms taking place over Arkansas and Oklahoma here within the next couple of hours. In fact, we're already starting to watch a couple of showers develop just to our west right now. Not severe, but the clouds are getting a little bit thicker. They're starting to redevelop as this next front comes in. Guys, we're kind of been cornered for a severe weather chance. What we have off to the north is this boundary that's helping to spark more severe weather. To the south, see this stationary boundary? This is the difference between some cooler air and some warmer air because we've had some rain on and off. Today, especially, we've had it lingering in the river valley. So there's another boundary, a temperature boundary just towards our south. So anyone between these two boundaries, which includes five country, has the potential for severe weather. I do think this one will be the stronger activator of storms as that comes in over the next couple of hours. We're getting all our live streams ready. If you have us on our 5 News app, you'll be able to stream us there. We're going to have a lot of live updates just throughout the day, so we're getting those ready for you all. We'll also be live on 5 News, on Channel 5 itself during our newscast and throughout the evening. And then, of course, we'll be live on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So we have several different options for you guys to get a hold of us throughout the rest of the day. We got the weather team in. We have reporters out in the field. They're keeping an eye on how the clouds are looking. We'll have updates from them as well. All right, I think we're good to go. So let's dive in a little bit closer. Here's taking a look at some high-resolution radar data. We still have some active downpours across parts of the river valley, eastern Logan County, and then Scott County. Sequoyah County, a few new flare-ups trying to take place. These are on the weak side. There's some good rain coming in towards Sallisaw and just west of the Sequoyah Wildlife National Refuge. This will continue to track east. Fort Smith, we're probably going to get some rain here soon. This isn't the main activity, but eventually we're probably going to be watching out towards the west. Maybe even in some of this clearing that's just west of Tulsa. We may be watching storms there in the next couple of hours. Essentially, you've got to really watch from about 5 all the way to midnight. Maybe a little bit more from 7 to midnight, but there could be a storm as soon as 5 o'clock. Anything that fires within the next hour or so will probably be on the weaker side. Let's take a closer look at some of these bands. There's 2 different ones. There's one in Sequoyah County and then northern Haskell counties. And then when you head north into northwest Arkansas and northeast Oklahoma, we're streaming in from Delaware and Adair counties too. Light showers trying to come into parts of western Washington County. You head west of Lake Weddington, we've got a little bit of rain. This will move into Fayetteville within the next 10 minutes. Johnson will have some rain in the next 10-15 minutes. Springdale as well, about 15 minutes. Most of this rain should probably stay just south of Bentonville. But we're watching that closely. Here's a closer look at some of those showers. Not everything is quite reaching the ground, but we've got a few light raindrops around Gentry, back west and south towards Siloam Springs, Watts, Cincinnati. We're watching you guys get a little bit of rain too. But the main corridor of northwest Arkansas is dry, but not for long. We got a couple light rain showers moving in. So here's once again a wide view across 5 country. A little bit quiet now, but after about 5 o'clock, really watch the sky. This is live look in Springdale. Guys, we've had on and off sun. But we've had enough sun to kind of build up some heat. Yeah, we've got clouds here at the moment. That's good for us, not good for the storms. But we've probably had enough heat already built up in order to produce some more severe weather later this evening. But you're looking live in Springdale. You're looking back off towards the west. Remember those showers that are just in western Washington County? You're looking at some of those right now. Live look in Fort Smith. We've had some batches of sun on and off as well. But there are the clouds trying to redevelop as well. You're looking down Rogers Avenue there from the Mercy Hospital, ICAM. You're looking back off towards the west right now. This would be about northwest. This is about due west, and this is a little bit more to the southwest, closer to the airport. So we're watching the clouds very closely. Temperature-wise, you can see who has warmed up. Mid-80s, northwest Arkansas. Nice south wind. Mid-80s across the river valley, especially outside of Fort Smith. You go to Sallisaw and Poto, we're doing a little bit warmer. Eastbound, we have had a couple more clouds today. Clarksville, right there at 79 still. 80, just barely into the 80s in parts of Logan County. We also have some of those showers near Boonville, Paris, and Subiaco, Scranton, so kind of keeping us cooler right now. Here's a closer look at some of these center temperatures, mid-80s right now, mid-80s in the River Valley too. So when are we going to get storms? Well, let's talk about it. The humidity's high. We've had enough heat. We're good to go, but we have that level 3 severe threat. That now includes also Crawford County, Franklin County, all of Johnson County, northern Logan County, all of northwest Arkansas has been included too. So this level 3 threat has been expanded a little bit to the south and to the west. Remember those 2 boundaries that we're talking about? Anyone who lives in between those, which is all of 5 country, has the potential for some severe storms. As this front gets closer, I think that's the main actuator. It'll help prop these storms here in the next couple of hours, but mainly after 5 o'clock. Into 6, 7, 8 o'clock, guys, we're probably going to have a lot of live streams. We'll go what we call wall to wall when we're tracking these storms for you guys. Level 2 from Van Buren, cross over the river into Fort Smith South, Poto, Greenwood, Fort Chaffee, Boonville, Paris. We're kind of on the edge, but more in the level 2, and then south to Waldron. So what are we talking about for severe chances? There's about a medium threat for hail, wind, flash flooding. That's something that we got to talk about, and a lot of lightning too, because we have a lot of hail threats. Now we have a low tornado threat, which is pretty high for August. Usually we don't even have any kind of tornado threat, but there is some rotation as that frontal boundary starts to move in. So what are things going to look like this evening? Here's a look at Futurecast. We're talking about 6 o'clock. Some storms starting to approach, coming in from eastern Oklahoma. Some of these could be pretty nasty. You see 7, 8 o'clock. Some of these could also try to rotate at times, but there's a lot of heat built up in these storms. So I think we're sending some large hail up there. The question is, once the hail is very large, how much does it reduce in size before it gets to the ground? Because, guys, we're warm, so the ice eventually will start to melt. So I think that you'll start off with massive hailstones, and they'll get smaller and smaller. So still trying to work out the forecast, how large will they be when they hit the ground. But I'd expect some hail out of these storms, especially on the northern side of a lot of these storms. 9 o'clock, we're still watching some scattered storms, 10, 11 as well. By the time we get to midnight, we start to wrap up a lot of the severe threats. We may still have some rain, but because we had scattered storms from 5 to midnight, there will be that flooding threat, especially in northwest Arkansas. We had some heavy rain in parts of Benton, Washington, Madison, Carroll counties earlier this morning. Lighter rain, but we still got some in the River Valley. But the heavier stuff was north this time. Every single day it's kind of flip-flop. Remember yesterday it was the River Valley's turn. Today it was northwest Arkansas's. So we could have that flooding threat as additional storms fire up. I think we're really done by about 1 to 2. Could we have a couple more downpours? Sure, but the severe threat on those would be super, super low. And then by tomorrow morning, you're headed out, waking up and headed out the door just fine. But if you are headed out this evening, you've got to watch out for storms. Guys, there's so much going on. Of course, we have the Naturals. They're back in town this week. A lot of storm chances for Arvez Ballpark. We've been in touch with the folks there, trying to figure out what to do. But for now, I believe it's still game on. Haven't checked with them in the past hour. But otherwise, we got storm chances. If you're headed to the AMP tonight, big concert, big names in town, we're going to be watching storms at the AMP as well. You head south into Fort Smith, we're also watching the storms, but we may just wait another hour or so. But anywhere from 5 to midnight, watch out. But I think the sweet spot would be from 7 to 11. Watch out for storms as they're coming on through. We've got to get ready for our 5 News at 4. First at 4, we'll have a couple more updates for you. Then we'll spend a little bit more time on some data coming in. But watch out this evening. It's August, but right now severe weather season is temporarily back as this cold front makes its way on through. And the unfortunate thing is the front never actually completely swings through, so we don't necessarily cool down a whole bunch. We probably still have some upper 80s tomorrow, so it's still going to be warm. We're not getting a refreshing push of cool air tomorrow because the boundary's kind of flirting with us. It may get a little bit cooler in Missouri, but in Arkansas maybe not so much. But watch some storms up until about midnight or so, and then I think we should be able to sleep fine. We'll have a lot drier weather for tomorrow, and we may have some more storm chances this weekend. We'll also have to touch on those coming up in your 5 News first at 4. Make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always, we'll keep you advised.